We're now in Sudbury, Ontario, where we're going to be exploring the city for the next few days. Right now the twins are actually having a nap in the car, and I'm going to be kicking things off by taking an underground mine tour here at Dynamic Earth. This guided tour takes you 7 stories underground to walk in the footsteps of Sudbury's miners. So I put on a hard hat and went to discover, through various demonstrations, the evolution of mining from the turn of the century to the modern day. This is a tour that you shouldn't miss during your visit, but after an hour and 15 minutes, I was ready to join Karla and the twins to keep learning about earth science, such as finding out how to identify rocks, minerals, and fossils.
This is the best way to learn, when you can actually play around and try things.
I've always loved amethyst. This is a really big piece here, and I've never really seen the red color before. But it's cool that they have this display on everyday minerals, because it just allows you to see that, like, for example, Tums, something that I have, comes from calcite, of course, with calcium. And it even shows you over here what goes into batteries and things like that. So it's pretty cool for kids to learn this way.
I was wondering what is this, and it's actually more machines to polish some rocks. So you get an apron because she said you might get wet, as well as some ear muffs, kind of thing, like to protect your ears. So don't talk to me because I cannot hear a thing anymore. If you were to take like 30 minutes or so to actually polish the whole rock, this is how it will look like it's smooth everywhere. I just took a few minutes, but it's cool to see what each wheel does. And if you have time, I don't because my babies are crying, but if you do, you can take this as a souvenir, which is pretty cool.
Do you remember when we actually did some gold panning up in Dawson?
Yes, and we found like few little pieces of gold.
Yeah. If you want to watch that, actually you should check out our video about the Yukon. Too bad the babies aren't old enough yet, but I know when I was a kid, this would have been an awesome place to visit.
I find this a pretty cool display because you can see the evolution of the nickel. So here it starts at 1858. Look at how small, and you can see Queen Victoria, which was the monarch at the time. Here you can see 1922 with King George. So how it goes from this side to the one that we have today over here, from 2006 to 2014.
And last but not least, you can't leave here without checking out the big nickel, which is the largest coin in the world.
Well, after a day at Dynamic Earth, we came for supper here at the Laughing Buddha, and it's a pretty cool spot. It's actually mostly patio, and I just like it, and the menu looks amazing. We are starting with some drinks. This is a non-alcoholic mojito made with passion fruit, and it's very tasty because today it's been so hot.
What are you having?
These baobab buns or whatever are so good. And the salad also super good. Super like, kind of like refreshing for a hot summer day like today.
Yeah, we ended up getting the peach salad, which was on their featured menu. And it's got kind of like they cooked the peaches on the outside and also put it on a bed of ricotta cheese. So, well, after a tasty dinner,
Yeah, I love the peach salad.
it was really good. Now we're going to be walking to our next event, which is an outdoor theater show for Peter Pan.
Well, surprisingly, the girls behaved pretty good.
Yeah, I'm really amazed that they pretty much stayed quiet the whole time, and it seemed like they were pretty entertained. Eh?
Yeah, because they like the music and all the sounds, and I really like the play. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, who doesn't like Peter Pan? And this was one of the many shows put on by Yes Theatre all year round, and in the summer they do the outdoor series. But basically, if you're in Sudbury, you should definitely check them out. Well, it's time for breakfast now, and we're here at Benny Rise and Shine, which is right next to our hotel. So far, the menu looks really good, like maybe one of the best breakfast places so far that we've been to. They have a wide variety of Eggs Benedict, of course, as you can probably tell by the name. We're going with the pork belly today. We're going to share because she highly recommended the French toast as well, which I believe has like a creme brulee sauce and sounds very sweet. Supposedly the pork belly eggs benny is the chef's favorite. It's really good. It's like a really good hollandaise sauce. And this one actually comes with a shaved apple salad, which is really good too.
Very good. Sweet though. Before the day gets even hotter, because we're supposed to be up to 29 degrees.
Yeah, I think it even says it's supposed to feel like 34.
Oh my goodness. So we decided to come for a stroll here at Bell Park.
Yeah, this is a beautiful inner city park. We're told has a really nice 2-kilometer boardwalk. And it was also great timing because it's time for the twins to take their nap. And if you're wondering what this colorful building is over here, it used to be a hospital. Now it's Canada's largest mural. It's pretty to see. They're not really promoting it anymore though, because obviously it's in a state of disrepair, but I think it's still kind of cool.
It's always a huge bonus having a piece of nature inside the city, and this park is actually pretty nice. I wish we can jump into the water.
Yeah, we actually saw someone swimming across the lake, so whoever you are, bravo.
Yes, I know. But there's also people paddleboarding, kayaking.
Yeah, unfortunately those activities are a little harder now with the babies, but can't wait till they get a bit older so they can come out with us.
They even have an outdoor gym.
And this trail is part of the Trans-Canada Trail. We've actually seen this sign in a number of places across Ontario. Got you an iced London fog.
Oh, thanks. Just what we needed before heading to Science North. This is very good.
Science North is one of Canada's largest science centres and the most popular tourist attraction in Northern Ontario. It's a great place for children and adults to learn and have fun. Our first stop was the Toddler's Treehouse, where Emma and Sophia had a blast crawling around and listening to the different animal sounds.
This place is awesome. Even me, I'm enjoying it.
Well, now we're in the Nature Exchange, which has a number of different insects on display, all of which are really gross to look at. We have some very big tarantulas here, but one of the signs actually asked what would win, a big wasp or a tarantula. I would have thought the tarantula, but it turns out the wasp not only wins, it paralyzes the tarantula, takes it back to its own home, lays an egg on its abdomen, and then when they hatch, they eat the tarantula alive. So, real life monsters.
You can actually eat a bug here, so I'm gonna try a cricket. So I've actually tried crickets before because we get them in Mexico, where I'm originally from. And it's nice, like it's gross to look at them and then put them in your mouth, but they're actually pretty tasty when they get some kind of seasoning.
Next, we made our way to the 3rd floor, where we learned about the wildlife found in Ontario's natural landscapes, and Sophia got to touch her first snake. Last but not least was the Tech Lab, one of our favorites, where you can tinker, play, and have fun building race cars, learn about space exploration, and discover the latest breakthroughs in biology. Well, now it's time for supper, and we're here at Wonder Food and Wine, an award-winning wine and tapas restaurant here in Sudbury. And one of the cool things they do sometimes is bring in different wineries to actually help you pair wine with the food. So today we're working with Rose Hall Run, which is from Prince Edward County, Ontario, and they've paired 3 different white wines to go with some of the dishes we have, such as panko shrimp and Peruvian ceviche.
So far, I tried the butternut squash quesadilla that we got the babies, and it's very tasty. Now I'm gonna try the panko shrimp. Super crispy. And let's start with the Ceremony Blanc de Blancs wine, which is one of their sparkling wines, and it's very good. It has a kind of a peachy flavor to me. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm right, but it tastes very fruity, and that's nice.
Well, those panko shrimp were super good, but I'm going to try the Peruvian ceviche, which we've had in Peru, and I remember we loved it so much, so I hope it's just as good. It is tasty. She said we should wash this one down with their Sauvignon Blanc. It's a nice wine. Not too sweet, not dry really. Just perfect.
So far, I really like my choices of wine. Like I got the sparkling, as I mentioned, a Sauvignon Blanc and the Pinot Gris. I find that all of them are like on the sweeter side, which is something that I like. And we couldn't resist to get the baked goat cheese and walnut dip because we just love goat cheese. And I'm so glad we did because it's very yummy. Well, I'm gonna pair it with the Pinot Gris. Cheers. I mean, I don't know too much about pairing, but I could kind of find that this, when I get the sip of the Pinot Gris, it really like kind of enhances the flavor of it. Pretty good.
Today we wanted to enjoy the outdoors, so we were told to come to Kivie Park, a 450-acre, 4-season oasis that's home to a lot of different hiking trails, biking trails, and so much more. Of course, we have the babies with us, so we're going to be enjoying some of the hiking trails as we make our way towards the wishing tree.
This place really looks like an outdoor paradise. We've been walking just for 2 minutes and we've seen so many kids enjoying the biking trails. There's cross-country skiing signs everywhere, so I'm sure that this place also is very cool in the winter. I find these boards pretty cool, so besides enjoying the trails, then there's something else that you can be looking forward to. And also you know that you're going on the right way because they have this everywhere. Even though the trails haven't been bad for the strollers, there's some parts that can be a little bit rockier, so it will be better if you have one of those strollers with the big tires. I think I spoke too soon because the trail is getting worse. So lucky for us, there's like a parallel trail that it seems a little bit smoother. It seems that there's just like little pebbles. So we're just gonna go that way instead. Maybe it's a bit longer, but probably faster for us.
Well, we're so close to the wishing tree that we wanted to see, but unfortunately it's getting a little harder. It's quite steep going down, just with the strollers. I mean, if you were just walking yourself, it's pretty simple. But there's so many cool trails. I wish if the kids were older and they were on bikes or something, this really would be a great place to explore. But for us right now, we're actually going to turn back and see if we can explore some easier trails on the way back.
A perfect way to end the story. We're back at the playground. Do you feel butterflies? Up and down, up and down. 3.
Well, now we're at Crowley Lake, which is also Kivie Park. You actually can hike here. It takes about an hour from where we were, but of course that was a bit too long for us today. So we drove here. It's about 7 minutes from the main entrance of Kivie Park, and you have to take some dirt roads to get here. Feels like an adventure, but the most important thing, it's a beautiful lake when you get here, and they actually have some rentals. You could pick up canoes, kayaks, or paddle boards. So I'm coming out on a paddle board. For now, unfortunately, Karla can't come because one of us has to stay with the baby. So it'll be really good when they're old enough to come with us on a canoe or something like that. But definitely when you're in Ontario, you have to get out on the water. That's like such a big thing here. There's so many lakes, so many rivers, and it's just a great place to go for a paddle. So I'm really happy we got to make this happen while we're in Sudbury. Well, after a day out in the sun and before supper, we wanted to come try some of the unique drinks they have here at Cut Distillery. And they have a lot of interesting flavors here. So I got to pick 5 different ones for my flight. Let's see. Ooh, the smoked jalapeno has a kick. I could see that being really good in a Caesar. Has cab rhubarb, very good. I'm excited for the moonshines because I've had an espresso one before and it was so good. Oh yeah, salted caramel, so far my favorite. Oh man, that's gonna be tough because I love cinnamon. For some reason, moonshine seems to be the perfect one for flavors. And chocolate habanero. Wow, it's really good, almost like silky smooth, and you get like that habanero kick. All very good, I'm actually very impressed.
Which one is your favorite then?
I don't know, but it's one of these last 3. Well, after trying all the delicious liquors, we had to get a cocktail, of course, and this one really jumped out at me because it had the cinnamon moonshine that I like so much, whiskey, some mint, egg whites, almost everything that I like in a drink. Oh yeah, definitely one of the best sours I've had.
Is it really? Oh. I actually had a very hard time picking my cocktail because there's so many of them that look so good, but I went with the Sudbury Sunset, which comes with a gin, Aperol peach nectar, grapefruit, lime, and Tajín rim, which is actually kind of like a chili that we have in Mexico. Oh my god. Oh, so good, and look how pretty.
Well, that was a delicious meal we just had. We really loved the sushi there. We weren't able to really talk inside because it got packed as soon as we got there. So it's a really popular place on a Friday night. But now we're back at the hotel. So we've got to get some sleep because tomorrow we have a big day. For our last day in Sudbury, we're going to be enjoying the Up Here Festival, which is one of the reasons why we timed our visit in August. So this is a independent urban art and emerging music festival. So to kick things off, we're actually going to be taking a mural tour to see some of the creative art pieces that you can find throughout the city. We really love this new trend of murals popping up all over cities across the country. It's such a good way to beautify the city and all the old buildings that are around, and it's extra special when you learn the stories behind each piece. But now we're here on Durham Street, where most of the festival takes place every year, so let's go check it out. Well, that's it for our time here in Sudbury.
I know, this is our last supper before we hit the road again.
Yeah, and to make it, they're getting tired as well, but to end our time here, we wanted to come to another one of the top Italian restaurants in the city. There's so many Italian restaurants here.
Yes.
The first thing I want to do when I get home is find out why. But this one's called Respect is Burning. We've heard nothing but good things, so that's how we're going to end our time here. And we hope you enjoyed this video. We hope we inspired you to visit Sudbury. Of course, subscribe to this channel if you want to learn more about Canada. Leave us a comment.
Yes.
We always love to hear from you. And don't forget to check out our website at mustdocanada.com.
And the article that is going to come out, because we're going to review better all the food that we had here in Sudbury. I think this is the end of the story. So what did we learn? It says that every time some anger enters your body, remember to slow down, breathe, and be kind to those feelings.